When did you realize something was a blessing in disguise? I was 17 when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. Stage 3, aggressive treatment needed immediately. Dad worked construction and couldn't take time off without losing his job, so guess who became the designated driver for chemo appointments? Me, the kid who was supposed to be playing varsity basketball and applying to colleges on sports scholarships. Instead, I was spending 3 days a week in hospital waiting rooms, watching my mom get pumped full of poison that made her throw up for hours afterward. I was absolutely furious. All my friends were at practice while I was learning how to help mom with her medication schedule and side effects. They were at parties and football games while I was grocery shopping because she was too weak to stand for more than 10 minutes at a time. My coach called me into his office after I missed my 4th practice in 2 weeks. Listen, son, I get that family comes first, but you're throwing away a full ride to state university. Scouts are asking about you. This is your future we're talking about here. I wanted to scream at him that my mom might actually die, but I just nodded and said I'd try harder to make it to practice. But I couldn't. Mom needed me there, and basketball suddenly felt completely stupid compared to making sure she took her pills on time and didn't fall down the stairs. By senior year, my scholarship opportunity was completely gone. All the college scouts had moved on to other players who could actually show up consistently. My guidance counselor suggested starting at community college, maybe transferring later if my grades were good enough. I felt like my entire life plan had just collapsed. 18 years old, no athletic future, working part-time at a tire shop to help pay the endless medical bills. All my friends went off to college while I stayed home feeling sorry for myself and changing oil filters. That's when I met this customer named Marcus. Older guy, maybe 40, came in for a routine oil change. He was on his phone the whole time talking medical terminology, dosages, patient charts, scheduling surgeries for the next week. Sounded really important and official. When he finally hung up, I asked if he was a doctor. He laughed and said he was actually a nurse practitioner. Started at community college just like I was planning, worked his way through nursing school, and now he managed an entire cardiac unit at the Children's Hospital downtown. I make more money than most doctors I know, he said while signing his receipt, and I get to actually help people instead of just running a business and dealing with insurance companies all day. Something just clicked in my brain. All those long months sitting in hospitals with mom, I've been watching the nurses way more than the doctors. They were the ones who explained things in normal language, who stayed late when families had questions, who actually seemed to care about patients as real people. I enrolled in nursing prerequisite classes that fall, kept working at the tire shop during the day, took night classes 3 times a week, studied between customers and during slow periods. It was absolutely brutal, but all those hours I'd spent learning about mom's treatment and medications suddenly made perfect sense. 4 years later, I graduated with my nursing degree and immediately started working in the emergency room. After 2 years there, I moved to the oncology unit. Now I'm the nurse who sits with scared 17-year-old kids while their parents get chemotherapy treatments. Last month, I was working a double shift when this kid came in with his mom for her very first treatment. He looked exactly like I did 6 years ago. Angry, scared, frustrated, like his whole world was completely falling apart around him. During her 4-hour treatment session, he asked me how I could possibly stand working in a place where people were sick and dying every single day. I told him about my mom, about missing basketball season, about thinking my entire life was completely over. But if your mom hadn't gotten sick, you wouldn't be here helping mine right now, he said quietly. He was absolutely right. Missing those basketball practices didn't ruin my future like I thought. It showed me what my real future was actually supposed to be. I make twice what I would have teaching high school PE with that sports scholarship I was so worried about losing. More importantly, I get to be the person I desperately needed when I was 17 and completely terrified. The person who tells families that everything's going to work out okay and actually knows what they're talking about, because I've been exactly where they are sitting right now.